fun. Uh, Not quite the longest distance match in this country, but I believe if Seabubble were to face Gatorland, that could be the biggest distance. But we got a long flight from Seattle to Brooklyn, probably like 6 hours, maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe five going up to New York. It's a long way, and it's very cool that these champions of like local events are playing each other over like a long distance. I think this should be very exciting.
Absolutely. Shout out to everyone who has organized this entire tournament because I feel like, okay, I kind of feel like, Splatoon comp it's been kind of dwindling a little bit, but honestly, I feel like these Splatoon LANs that have been going on at the local level have really been, I feel like, carrying the momentum of Splatoon comp right now to me personally. So it's just really awesome to see, like you said, two teams representing their locals on complete opposite sides of the US. So, and I mean, just strong players all over the US getting to see them play each other. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the lands have grown a lot in the last. I mean, they've grown so much in the last like 2 years. I think like 7 or 6 out of the 8 of these lands are less than a year and a half old, and we've already got
Mm.
so many players. I know Sea Battles like gets like 70 plus attendees, including like the spectators and stuff. So
Wow.
just so many people interested, and I think the local events really create a lot of like storylines and investment in players, because when you just know people online, they're sort of faceless. You
Mm-hmm.
might know them if they like stream or like Kyo, or just they are just charismatic, and they have a lot of like things to say. But when you know people, even if you may not be like friends with them, you're still rooting for them, because you're like, oh yeah, they're the ones who beat me in tournament. I know what they look like. They were nice to me. They signed my poster. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, it's a lot of fun. So uh I know I've seen a lot of uh Sea Battle and New Inclan reps in the chats so far for this match. Uh so I'm hoping that Big Dapple shows up for the next one as well. I I'm absolutely stoked, and I think this will be a super exciting match.
Yeah, I do too. I love that we've got to see, at least if anyone else is continuing to watch this stream, just watch the last set, is gonna watch this next set that we get to watch. It's fun that we have a little storyline going, that we know Seabubble here. We're gonna follow them along, see how they do against this really strong, notable team, Glub Glub. And they're also the seed 3, so that is something to highlight as well. And just following the storyline here on the stream is gonna be really neat, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I don't know what to expect out of these two. Well, I don't know exactly what to expect out of Glub Glub in terms of team comp, but it did seem like Nolan was rocking that 96 gal more often than not, which isn't too much of a surprise. Seabubble, you've kind of seen their thing so far. They are pretty much always going to be running that carbon, and are always either going to have pen or a charger. So uh, interesting little dynamic. I think the strikes coming out from Balloon are definitely going to be pretty disruptive. I'm curious to see whether Nil is going to pull out the Tentebrello, which is listed on their profile. Although
Mm-hmm.
I'm not entirely sure. I feel like when I don't think they're like they are a pickup, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't think to words are hard sometimes. I don't expect them to like adapt and mesh in perfectly well with a weapon like Tentabrella immediately. So I would expect a good variety of, uh, a mixture of like shooters, that bucket. I think uh, someone was on cooler. I don't remember which person though, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know. I feel like looking at these players on Glub Glub, I feel like honestly any of them could pick up the NZAP and make it work. So
Hmm.
I could see this
Totally.
team potentially moving weapons around to make different things work for different maps, or if there's something that they noticed against Seabubble in particular. I could totally see any of the players on that team just switching into NZAP to fulfill that cooler role.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to We're going back to Hammerhead Bridge Splat Zones, which we kicked off the tournament with. This is a match that can end in a minute. You can lock out pretty quickly on this map, but I don't think either of these teams, both of them have certainly shown they're capable of like living and just playing together to avoid big team wipes. They've done a great job of that so far. So I don't think we're going to be seeing this match end immediately. However, I think that seabubble may have a bit of a harder time because they didn't have too many of those dedicated displacement specials like we see, like from the strikes, for example, or even the Kraken on glub, which can get you in even if you can't physically like move up. Those bubbles are going to have a hard time getting some value here. At least that's how I see it so far. But I'm ready to be surprised.
I am too. It's like seabubble was making that rain bubble situation work out really well for them in order to push forward and cap the zone. But I mean, if all of a sudden they try and use that bubble and then strikes come out from the other team just completely putting an end to that bubble and shutting it down, then what are you gonna do? So I could absolutely see glub here adapting to that and getting rid of the bubble that we've seen from seabubble.
Yeah. Yeah, sea bubbles from Sea Battle. Yeah, it is Nilla indeed on the Zap. Queen's on that Decapitator, so we have a little bit of a mirror match going in here, and we don't have the red pen with the regular pen coming out from Sea Bubble, both teams here. I'm interested to see how Sea Bubble's going to deal with Nolan on that 96 shot, because they have one lethal bomb on their team. They're going to have a very difficult time moving in as the sword clash and trade in the middle of the map. That's going to be an early advantage for glub here.
Glub, they are pushing forward as they have capped the zone. Nolan's Kraken there has forced seabubble to jump back as well. So, oh my gosh, great usage of the wall here from Nolan. This is exactly what you're going to be doing with the Gal weapons that you have the wall, just pushing forward, poking the other team, shutting down what they're trying to do. Seabubble though, they played that defense well. They didn't push in too much. They're waiting for their specials, and now they are going to go ahead. It looks like they're slowly getting picks onto glub, and that has allowed them to push forward. Half the zone here. It is so close. Both teams are just trying to paint over the zone. These strikes though, there we go. That's exactly what I was saying. Those strikes can end up completely shutting down the bubble. That's exactly what happened. And seabubble wasn't able to paint the zone like they usually do and what we've seen them do.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, 2 members down. The pencil's going to be forced to jump out, and this seems like it's going to be incredible stuff. Glub managed to hang on to the zone despite everything, which was absolutely wild. That bubble blocked paint on half of the zone, preventing that flip. Huge stuff coming out. And I think... I don't know. I think Nolan on that 96 cal definitely did a lot, just kind of standing in the middle of the map with that splash wall with one lethal bomb. Seabubble was having a very hard time moving in. They were like, I guess we have to go around this, and so they couldn't get those picks like in the middle or on the zone. They just had to get through that brick wall, and we're not able to.
Yeah, that really was a brick wall, right? Nolan was pushed up there right in the middle, continuing to throw walls out, and then on the other side there were 2 members guarding that right drop, and it looked like there was also someone guarding that left drop on the side of glub. So they were just absolutely a brick wall set up and not allowing seabubble to come in. And even when seabubble was able to do their splat zone strategy that we've seen them do, where they push forward with the bubble, paint the zone around the bubble, use that as a quick little shield over the zone, there came those strikes and completely shut down that momentum that they were going to have with that. And also not just the strikes that came out from glub, also the members of the team. It felt like they all just recognized that they needed to keep painting the zone. Sometimes it's just that little thing where you just sit back and paint the zone can make a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they had all those specials ready for defense, and seabubble just could not move past it. That is a very difficult map, I think, to just retake on, but it felt like most of that match was like a single stagger. The fights in mid took like 40 points at the very least. Seabubble kind of just had one chance from spawn there, and glub made them pay for it for sure. But we're going to be moving on to Clam Blitz, which hopefully will not end as quickly, but Glub definitely looked incredibly strong there in that first match.
Yeah, they really did. And that first map too, I feel like that's one of the ones where if you I don't know, I feel like you could get blocked out really easily like we saw there. So I'm thinking maybe it was the map, but we're gonna have to see. I mean, also like you said, Glub was playing really good as well. So we'll see here. Headed into game 2. This time we are going to Clam Blitz, and it is gonna be on Inkblot Art Academy.
Yeah, Inkblot Art Academy definitely will at least supply things like that roller a little bit more room to move around with. No backline is going to mean that the members of Glub from Big Dapple are going to have to stick together if they want to support each other. Now, Balloon on this right side looking for the member of seabubble. Oh, we're on the bottom right, but while they have their back turned, oh my god, the decaf coming in, finding a pick that is going to be it from them as it's a 3v3 situation. Another 96 goes down, but another trade. Both teams just scrapping, waiting for an opportunity. Noxella finds one. They look for the second. Balloony's going to go down as well. That is a power clamp for the side of seabubble. Now, looking for a way in. They find 2 picks. Nicely played around that box there. 3 members down. This is a big start for seabubble.
Really big start for them. They have the momentum now this time at the start of the game, and they went back, got a few clams. Man, shout out to Noxella because they are utilizing the paint that NZEP has, going back to get clams, making sure that they are just constantly playing around their team. And now you can see seabubble there. They were all kind of grouped up, trying to be like, okay, we have clams. Do we push forward? Do we not? It looks like they opted to stay back and hold mid, which I think is also a very smart move. So that way, it allows them to get ready to play defense and have that mid control, hopefully making it a little bit harder for Glub. But we will have to see as Glub is now coming back into mid, slowly taking it. They are down a member, but it looks like they're still doing a really good job at getting their paint down on the map.
Yeah, they definitely are, but they're like, I feel like they're kind of looking in circles here. They're like, oh, there's a member of seabubbles to my right. Oh, there's a member to my left. Oh, there's one behind me, and not really having the time to get the clams and move forward. seabubble just has so much control of the map so far. Zuka comes up blank, but I guess does force members of the Big Dapple team to have to back up. Now 1 member going down, Glub moving in. They find 2 picks that is going to not quite be enough for them. The decap on the plat is going to get teamed up on as Anoma on the carbon comes in. So the multiple members of Big Dapple are moving up towards the basket, but they don't have the clams at the ready to really capitalize.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. They don't really have the clams. It's like they're finally, as we see their clam count go up to 10 now, they're recognizing, okay, does anyone have clams? I'm probably making those calls. Hey, let me get some clams. I'll make a power clam. And they are doing a good job at slowly pushing up, but like you said, not having the clams in order to make something happen. And now with 2 members down again on Glub, they are having to resort to backing up, playing defense. seabubble recognized that they had the members down in Glub, and they said, hey, we're just going to run forward here on the left side, take this space that the other team doesn't have, and you know what? Hey, maybe we can get another power clam in.
Yeah, they've done a great job so far of playing off each other, turning the enemy's attention away and taking advantage of it. But they're having a hard time again getting a second push here. Again, with that red pen, the rain is the special of choice. They do have a cooler coming out from the zap though, but Pen is going to be forced to back up as the Kraken comes out. They are going to save that power clam, but yeah, I mean, Glub is kind of just looking for the picks they need in order to move in, and they are, because they're so short range, they're kind of like scattered all over the map and fighting pretty individually in order to do so, and they have not gotten the wins in the fights they've needed to really create an opening so far.
It seems like this map it's a bigger map than that first game that we saw, and it is definitely making it a little bit more difficult for them to push forward. And now finally they do get a complete wipe onto seabubble. This is the moment for them. They are able to open up the basket. Someone jumps in with another power clam as well, and if they can hold this, they could potentially switch the lead. They do have they were able to take down 1 member of seabubble, and you can see they're jumping in with that power clam. And were they able to score it? I believe they were, but they still do not have the lead.
Oh no, it drops under the basket just short. I think the jump was slightly too far away, so not quite a lead. 45 seconds left. All of that off of that one wipeout onto seabubble. Now, glub still in an aggressive position. We see Nolan on that right side. The Carbon can't really move it against them, but the Pencil forcing them off in the meantime. They have their eyes on that rail, but they are going to get taken out. That is a very big pick. That means no Kraken is going to be online as the final moments of the game are upon us. Strikes are at the ready, but seabubble is definitely keeping up the pressure here. My god, yeah, they're just turning heads, and the long-range weapon like the Pencil or the decap are just punishing it, and it's worked out so well for them. They do go a member down. There are 3 specials on the side of glub. We are going to... Are we going to head into overtime? They don't have a clam. Okay, Keen makes a clam just in the nick of time. Take us there, Issa.
Oh, yeah. Keen finally makes that clam, and Nolan has that Kraken at the ready, so they do go ahead and use that Kraken. They're able to take down 2 members of seabubble just like that, able to score in that clam, and they don't have any more clams. Are they able to go get some clams? Balloon at least gets 1 clam there to stall out the basket. Keen gets a few more, and Keen coming in there right at the end with 2 more clams, able to switch the lead over for glub, and they were able to take that game 2 in a very, very intense last few seconds there.
Oh my goodness, yeah, just a couple of those picks. The patience from glub did end up paying off for them. I mean, in overtime, they're sneaking in with those few extra clams. I mean, talk about an opportune time to get those picks for a wipeout there onto seabubble. Glub able to win that game in overtime. And I think it's crazy because those were like the only clams I could see on the map, and they were just barely enough to get the lead. Great stuff, Key, managing to get them in overtime. And now, as a result, glub going up 2-0, looking to get top 3 in the LAN Championship Showdown and have a potential rematch awaiting them. So, but they're going to have to get through Crab-Leg Capital Rainmaker in order to get there.
Ooh, this one can be difficult. Definitely. I mean, thinking of playing it as a player, it's like, whew, okay. You can definitely have a really difficult time trying to get to that very last Rainmaker checkpoint in order to dunk it. So I have a feeling seabubble is gonna potentially stick with that Pencil. And it seems like for some reason they really play well off of that red Pencil in particular. So seeing how close that last game was, I feel like what they had going worked for them. It just really came down to, those fine-tuned details of playing defense correctly there in the last few seconds. But I mean, they were playing that last game great. So if they bring that back into this game, I think they could potentially have a chance.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, game 2 certainly looked extremely close. seabubble had a lot of pressure on, and it really was just like it came down to those final moments going down. Like they got wiped twice, and glub got a big push off twice. And I feel like maybe they got a little bit overeager as time ticked down. I feel like with the pick on the power clam as things went into overtime, that could have been absolutely huge. But glub was able to get back on their feet. Maybe they were just hoping to get the picks before glub got their own push started, but that didn't pan out for them. Here we are, Tentabrella coming out from Keen. I definitely know them for that for sure. As we move into game 3, more or less, similar stuff, I would say, coming out of seabubble. We do have the edit and Pencil, definitely a nice combo on a gigantic map like Crab-Leg Capital.
They're going to be really able to utilize the range that they have for this. And you talked about it in the last game, but the range that they had was really working for them. Oh, okay, as they get completely wiped, it's just Balloon grabbing the Rainmaker to gonna run it over to the checkpoint while they have the time to undunk it. Oh, that was a very interesting start of the match. But yeah, I was going to say the range was working really well for seabubble that last game, so maybe they're going to try and play off of that, really adding that edit to their comp.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. 7 members going down. Literally just Balloon, the only one left alive. That is a really nice early check. However, no more points is not ideal on this map. Now, remember, sharking at the checkpoint. That is the vac. Oh, 1 second. That is the vac. Is that coming out from the tent umbrella there? I think it was,
Yes.
but wow. seabubble managing to sneak into that checkpoint and dunk it. I'm surprised they managed to get through everything there. So both teams at a very even spot here. Neither one has any points beyond. And you really need that in order to feel comfortable here, especially since, like, by the low ground checkpoint, you can dive it for a few extra points in a 2v2 in the middle of the map here.
All right, so as the Rainmaker is set into mid here, Glub goes and grabs the Rainmaker. It looks like they're going to try and... Are they going up the right path? Maybe, possibly? Oh, wait. Yes, sorry, I got a little confused there. They are going up the right path. You can see they were waiting for that 10 umbrella shield to help guide them through, and then maybe they were just trying to push forward and get the lead just by that 1 point running through that 10 umbrella shield. Not quite able to, but now waiting for that vacuum and has allowed them to get the lead, and they're going to go ahead and push the Rainmaker all the way to 5. They were actually really close to completely dunking that Rainmaker with 2 members up on each team. Balloon is going to try and hold this top right as seabubble here gets in a defensive position to try and guard the Rainmaker, but they're going to continue to have members go down on their team. They're going to have to play this defense so carefully.
Oh my god, and yeah, here they go running for that Rainmaker. They are going to grab it, not get any extra points. This push still isn't over yet. Nilla going for that Rainmaker. They are going to get taken out. There's still a member on plat that is keen. They're going to have to back off. They're going to try and go top left. Not able to get up there just yet, but I mean, talk about such a well-executed push. I mean, when the rain came in from seabubble, I thought that the push was kind of dead from glub, but they managed to back off. They caught the pencil moving up too aggressively. They managed to take advantage of that and snowball it into a near wipe onto seabubble and then into the vacuum for all those extra points. Huge hill to climb for seabubble glub with an incredible push.
Glub really came together there, had that team synergy in order to get their score all the way down to 5. Now seabubble there. seabubble had the Rainmaker there for a long time as they were just trying to... It seemed like they were honestly just trying to hold it. That way the other team couldn't grab it. And in doing so, that allowed them to really not get in a position in order to push the Rainmaker at all. And even think about getting a push. And they were really just playing defense that entire time. And they are still continuing to play defense here as Glub grabs the Rainmaker once again. And they are opting to go up this top right path again.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, especially with that 10th umbrella shield. Not much in the way of object damage coming out from seabubble here. Nilla just waltzing it up behind that Rainmaker, going to get some extra points on the board. Keen definitely has eyes on that vacuum. Are they going to be able to get it in time? The Rainmaker does end up going down. The Carbon does find 2. 3 members down, just the 10th umbrella left, who's still hanging around up there, and they are going to still get out. 1 minute left. Glub in complete control of this game. They can sit back and know that as long as they can prevent that knockout, they are doing great.
They are, and I really like this pairing of Keen and Nilla because Nilla is also a 10 umbrella player, so they know how to play around a 10 umbrella shield, and they're just pairing up really well with Keen, who's actually on the 10 umbrella here, and it's just working out so great for them. They do have 3 specials. Glub has 3 specials ready right now as we are headed into the last 20 seconds of this match. So it's coming down to these last 20 seconds for seabubble in order to make something happen. You can see now they finally are in control of the Rainmaker. They do have it on this top right, and they are able to take down 1 member, but they were taken out by Glub as Glub is running forward here and having no mercy as they get a complete wipe onto seabubble. This is gonna be it, folks. This is Glub taking the set over seabubble 3-0.
Yeah, Glub making it on. Seabubble sleeping with the fishies. They are going to find themselves in 4th place at the LAN Championship Showdown. Glub making it to losers finals and into the top 3 where they will face the loser of My Little Henlo and Prickly Pear. Great stuff to Glub and great stuff to seabubble. Their run is going to be over though, so we have some more exciting matches. Glub will be playing immediately after this, I believe, on SplatoonTourney 1, if I'm not mistaken. Or I think it's actually on the main stream, right? SplatoonTourney? Yes, it is. It will be on the mainstream SplatoonTourney, which has been doing the multi-stream so far. It is currently a 2-1 match. So we'll have to see who they're going to face off with. But My Little Henlo coming out just barely ahead so far. That was such an exciting match. I'm happy. Seabubble did great. They're such a nice, scrappy team, and they're very nice people too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm super happy with that.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome that you, as the TO of Sea Battle, got to commentate
I
the
know.
team that's representing your land in particular. So that was really cool. I was excited when I saw that before we came on, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this whole thing, commentating it, was kind of a win-win-win because I have two teammates from Ludi, Woomph and Clover, are on two different teams. So it
Mm,
was either I commentate the LAN I ran, or one of the two teams from that my friends are playing on. So
that's funny.
very, very exciting. And we have more exciting matches still ahead of us as the finale of the LAN Championship Showdown awaits.
All right, so I think that's actually going to be it from us. Like Fusion highlighted, the stream, this tournament will continue on Splatoon Tourney's main stream. So with that, I believe that's going to be us checking out here. Fusion, do you have any final thoughts before we head out?
Go to a LAN. They are super fun. You're going to have a good time. I mean, even if you're like not competing, I think you'll have a good time. Plenty of events have like either other stuff going on or side brackets like Salmon Run. So you get to meet a lot of cool people. Support your local LAN scene. I know there's more coming, and if you are interested in running it, there is a server. If you message like me or anyone who you know is involved with any LAN, I'm sure they can point you in the right direction and help you try and get something started in your own scene.
That's awesome. Yeah, go to a land like Fusion said. Even if it's not one of the big ones, at least go to those locals that are close to you or semi-close. I know a lot of people, actually, the Arizona people always come over to the California lands and vice versa. So since it's close, they make things happen that way. And I've gone to the SoCali lands here in California a couple times as well. So it's just a great way to get involved with Splatoon competitive scene right now. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it from Fusion and I. So we will see you guys over on the main stream as we continue to watch this tournament. And thank you so much for tuning in.